Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and welcome to my weekly Plan With Me video. I do these every Monday. All the items I am using and how I made this planner are linked in the description box below. So let's get started. Okay, it's been a week. How has your week been? Tell me stories. My week's been pretty good, pretty busy. The weather was nice and now it's raining again, so that's going to put a hiatus to some of my chores. Okay, so what have I been doing? I did a pink portrait yesterday. If you'd like to see these pictures, they are up on my Instagram. I will throw up the link. I did a 3-bird picture. I did a landscape. It was a swamp. That was the goal. You know, you set out to have these goals. This is a portrait with flowers. So that makes it pretty distinctive. I did an ink dog. I did an art journal. I love doing an art journal once in a while, just doing some doodles. I did botanicals and then I wrote over it of what I was doing for the day and all those things. And then this day I did an ink owl. That was with Majestic Maple Ferris Wheel Press ink. Okay, so that was everything I drew this past week. As far as my 2 videos, this was my June drawing challenge introduction video. And I talked a little bit about low-buy art supply as well. And then this was my week 18 video, which means we are currently doing week 19. Oh, May's gonna be quick. Okay, this is a gallon leather. This is a Nolte cover. I have Etsy stickers. Again, everything's linked in the description box. All right, so I have this week all written up. I will zoom in so you can see the really fine text that I have written with a warm Copic multiliner. So here you can see the date. This is a very warm gray, 0.05. So I split the page in half, 1 week per half page. I like it really pale. I like it unobtrusive, but I still want to know the information. Also, the reason I've switched to the gallon leather instead of doing like a Hobonichi is I'm really tired of drawing across grids. That is a personal choice, a personal preference. It is not for everyone. Welcome to my choices. So let's write down all the things. And I want the portrait to be over here. So, no, we'll do it over here and then I'll write over here. So I did, let me remove page flags for days. Are you a page flag person? Gosh, I love page flags. I buy them in bulk. It's terrible. It really is. So I did 2 portraits. 2 bird drawings, even though one had 3 birds on it. 1 dog, 1 landscape, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then an art journal. So the green is what I drew for the week, and then the brown is the other things. So week 18 video. And then I did my June draw challenge video. Okay. I thought for this week we would do watercolors for the portrait. Okay. I have some one-offs. I have some things left over as I've been using up all my supplies. And one of the things I had a long time ago was a whole set of the Gansai Tambi watercolors. These are the ones I have left. These are my favorite colors. I have these left because I have these in other pans. Again, I have a 36 set of the Schmincke, the Hudrum Aquarelle, and that keeps me like pretty much in line, so I never use these ones. It's time to use them up because I won't be replacing this when I use it up. They're fine watercolors. They're great. I like the price point. The pan size is a lot of fun. But I have other quality watercolors that I just gravitate towards. So, in the spirit of rotating through all the things, welcome to this week's rotation. I swatch every single watercolor I have. I think it is pivotal to do that so you understand some of the value range of each color you're working with. This tin, if you're like, that's really cute, they're cats and chairs. It is really cute. There's no identification on it, so I can't like tell you where this came from, who did it. I don't know. This is early 1990s. I've had this since I was like 12 or 13. I'm 45, so, and it's always held some form of art supply. So let's get to watercoloring a portrait, and I have my water already ready. And for brushes, I'm just using the Winsor Newton Cotman because that's what I always have by my desk. I have the 3 round, and then I have the 00, which is sometimes on the website 2/0 when you go to purchase them. I like round brushes. I don't know. It's a thing. Okay, so what am I going to draw today? I'm going to do another portrait for May and for June. I think I just want to do someone happy. Let's just do someone happy and smiling. Can we? Did I kind of do that before? They're kind of happy. They're kind of smiling. Okay. Yeah. And maybe I'll do several colors. I kind of want to have them so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm grabbing the Viridian, and I will always grab indigo. I have indigo. Indigo is not a very good light fast color. So with my Schmincke set, it's probably the worst light fastness out of all the colors in the set. Here's my indigo. Here's the 36 set, and then I have some other random things I use a lot. Okay, but I love it. So I have it as a convenience tube as well, where it is a light fast blue mixed with black. So you don't want to use it as a mixture, you want to use as a pure hue and just use it by itself if you want light fast in your indigo. Yep. All right, and maybe we'll put up a little cobalt violet. So we have a green, a blue, and a purple. And we'll use a different set next week. Let's add some water to these. I haven't used these. It's been a while since I've busted these out. These just sort of sit on my shelf. And I have some core tubes that I hardly ever use. They're like, where did you get these and why did you buy them if you're not in love with them? Fun story. We like Monday art story time. I tried Art Snacks. Art Snacks is a subscription box. I first tried it in 2017, and I was so super excited to receive my very first ever art supply thing. Like, it's a surprise, it's art supplies. Like, you just can't go wrong with fun things like that. It took me a while to realize that those aren't for me. And in 2018, Art Snacks launched Watercolor Snacks. I actually have a video about it. It's a really early old video. I probably won't link it in the description box, but if you want to hunt around for it, I'm not going to stop you. I'm tired of cutting off their head. It makes it look like they have weird haircuts. So they launched Watercolor Snacks, and I'm trying to be tactful here on how I word this and say this. The value of what they were offering. So you got the art supply and a paper, and you got, it came linked with like some online videos that you can watch for tutorials. The value of what they were charging, what they said the retail value was for the art supplies, you could find at a more budget cost online elsewhere. So it wasn't, that wasn't helpful. And then the art tutorials, no shade or disrespect to the artists that put together the tutorials for the Watercolor Snacks subscription box. You could find other tutorials on YouTube. Like there's a lot of free tutorials online that at varying levels. They were kind of beginner. They were beginner level videos. I did not find value in them. They weren't helpful videos for me personally. So for the price and what I did in my infinite wisdom in 2018, I bought the whole year's worth, and the year was like, you get 4 boxes for the whole year. And after I received the first one, I thought, well, shoot, this doesn't help me at all. But I didn't think much of it. When I got the second box, I knew, like, this isn't gonna help me. This isn't for me. It's not my creating level. I couldn't get value from those videos, and they were saying like the videos were a huge chunk of why the box was so expensive. The Gansai Tambi came with that. The core watercolor, it was a quinacridone. Oh gosh, I'm not even pronouncing that correctly. I apologize. It was a set of like 4 really unique watercolors that they were not beginner. So to use them together, like you really kind of had to know what you're doing with color mixing and using those colors and applying them. Like you really needed another art supply on your own. Like you had to have owned other watercolors to really make use of that set, if that makes sense. Like you could use the set on its own, but it was very specific. And I didn't feel like that was beginner at all. Especially if you were new to watercoloring and you didn't own a lot of watercolors. And that was like the first set you received. It was very limiting. So the paper was wood pulp. It was low quality student grade paper with a very difficult like color mixture to use by itself with very beginning videos that was overpriced. So it didn't last. I asked for my money back. They said no. I said, I don't want the other 2 boxes. And they said, that's too bad. So I was done. I was done with subscription boxes. And that's okay. Like the whole mystery, you don't know what you're getting, is a really fun idea. Like it's so much fun to have an art supply to look forward to in the mail. Hence why I need to do a low buy art supply for the rest of my life. But yeah, the thing is, they weren't things I would pick out for myself in sizes I would use, in qualities that I enjoy. So while it's a fun surprise, they were things I would use a little bit, but I didn't love them. Like I like them, I enjoy them, but that's because I like all art supplies and I can find value and enjoy everything. But it just, no. It really, really helps if you have like an art supply store that you can go into and you can say, hey, do you have a test paper? Can I try this pen or this pastel out and see if it's scratchy, what kind of opacity it has, reading reviews, looking at other people's videos as they swatch, test, and review these products. That's just infinitely more helpful than getting a blind item in the mail and hoping it's something you'll fall in love with that you'll use all the time. Because it ends up being stuff that's fun in the moment that is more like student grade, or like I don't need any more pencil sharpeners and I don't really need any more erasers. There's just some things like I don't need any more of in my life. I don't need any more pencils. Like there's 2 brands of pencils I really love. The Mitsubishi Hi-Uni, that is my #1 favorite drawing pencil for graphite. I will recommend that over any other pencil ever. If pressed to pick a second one, I will say Blackwing. But you have to get used to the ferrule being sort of like bottom heavy. So I don't need any mechanical pencils. I am not a mechanical pencil person. And I feel like there's some filler in some of those subscription boxes of things that aren't stuff that help me out the most in the world. So while it's a really fun idea, and I think I'm just not there in my art journey anymore for things like that. And that's okay, because it just keeps me from wasting money and it keeps me from owning things I won't use like the most amount of. I know I went really small on this face, didn't I? Let's big smile this. We want big smiles. It's Monday. Maybe you feel about Monday how I feel about Monday. Anyway, that's a long way of me saying I own some Gansai Tambi paints that I never use. It's fine. I know some of these colors aren't light fast. That's okay too. This is just my planner. So that's all right. But please be smiley and not cringy. What we don't want is you to look frightening. Okay. Anyway. There's a bunch. There's like Sketchbox. There's so many online, and a lot of them post giveaways and things on Instagram. They're not bad companies. They're doing their thing, but it's a lot of scarcity mentality where it's like, this is a product that was just created for us. So if you want this color, this pen, or sometimes they do first launches of certain things. If you want this first, we have it first. So go through us and you'll get to try it. They do anniversary boxes. We've been a company for blank years. This is our anniversary box. It comes with the limited edition, blah, blah, blah. That's where they get you. That limited edition stuff is dangerous. So, proceed with caution. If you already kind of know the stuff you like and enjoy, maybe subscription boxes aren't for you, and that's okay. They're not for me either. They get me in trouble. They get me owning things that I just don't use enough of. So. All right. Smile, doo-doo, smile. Okay. We could be smiley. All right, I want some little bits of hair, I think. There we go. All right. And there's my portrait for the week. I know. We'll do animals starting in July. So if there's an animal you really want to see me draw, or you want me to do it this way, real quick and small, if you want me to talk you through it, like a tutorial version of it, put a comment in the comment section below what animal you want to see me draw or paint, or whatever medium you prefer, starting in July through December, and I will absolutely add that to the list and make sure I do that for you. Because art and drawing and painting is the absolute best. So this was my past week. I hope you enjoyed this. That's just a little synopsis of what happened when I did, subscription boxes. No disrespect to those. I think it's a cool idea. I just look at where you're at with your art journey and what you're interested in, and really assess if those things are right for you, because I don't know that they're right for everybody. Okay. I hope your Monday is absolutely wonderful. I hope your week is fantastic, and I will talk to you later. Bye.